Hello and welcome to the OB Builders Cup Series live from virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Sheldon Atkins, joined in the booth by Steve Tucker and Austin Derbyshire. And man, we're in for a treat here tonight. One of the best series on the circuit, 325 laps at a track that we struggle to get more than 25 laps green in most officials. And I got a feeling we're going to have a lot of long green flag runs on tap here as we get a look at the Bristol, Tennessee Speedway. And Steve, what can you tell me about this place, man?
Oh, man, it's a lot of fun. Half mile of just intensity the entire time. You're flying around this place. And with these cars, this many drivers today in this race, it's going to be pretty hectic. Restarts are going to be pretty wild. But it is known to be, a track that you can go green for quite a while once you get strung out. It's a single file groove for the most part. Top line can be quick, but to save tires and whatnot, really got to run that low line.
Yeah, low line dominant this week as we get ready to look at the championship standings here. Sean Conklin running away with a 344-point advantage over second place Justin Levine, who is just 76 above Brandon Pasalacqua in third. Currently sitting in fourth. 115 back is Patrick Gitter with Joseph Causey, 208 points behind. And Causey is going to be somebody you want to keep your eyes on here this evening, coming off a second place run in the 500 lap event this afternoon of NIS. We look at this field of hungry drivers sitting on the grid. And we will go to the broadcast picks. And, man, I'm about to lean in. I'm about to go with the DeWalt machine. I'm about to go with Joseph Causey in that 88 Camry. As stated, second place this afternoon in NIS. And if this race goes long and green, he had a lot of pace. I feel like he could possibly get up there and tussle with these leaders. Who do you got, Steve?
Yes, sir. I'm going to go DeCiani today. I think he's got something today. Looked really good in practice before the show went live. Qualifying effort pretty good today. I think he's the man.
DeCiani, that's a good pick. Last time he went to a concrete track, it was him and Gitter finishing 1-2 for Fortis. And Darby's going to go with Paul Brigoli in the 12 machine, which also good pick. Paul's been really fast this week in NIS. We're going to take a look at our starting grid here. Starting on the pole is going to be that 21 machine of Patrick Gitter with Tim Wortman Jr. just outside. Starting third is going to be Matt DeCiani with Josh Schaffner rolling off the grid in fourth. Rolling off in fifth, it's going to be Chris Crosby with Paul Brigoli just outside in sixth. In seventh place, going to Sean Conklin with Adam Benefiel. Ninth place is going to be Roger Pierce, and rounding out the top 10, going to be the 64 machine of Russell Black. To you, Steve.
Yes, P11, Paul Hill, followed by Sean Clore, P12. Alexander Carr in 13th. Randy Mullins, P14 right there. Joseph Causey in 15th. Thomas O'Hara, 16th. Austin Edstrom, P17. Brandon Palasqua in 18th spot. Greg Carr, 19th. Louis Christian, P20.
Starting off in 21st, going to be Brian Johnson with Bryce Rayner to the outside in 22nd. Running off the grid in 23rd, going to be Chris Hudson with Reese Schaefer starting in 24th. 25th place, going to be Daniel Wiles with Justin Levine in 26th. 27th place is going to be Jose Medina with Chris Davis in 28th. Then running at the top 30 here is going to be Paul Gallimore and Joshua Hyatt. With the car sitting here on the grid. It's pretty cool paint schemes up here at the front. I mean, we see Patrick Gitter with the Kevin Harvick Influence 21 machine. Always good looking finish with a little bit of a Davey Allison tribute from Tim Wortman in the 28. But cool one I see back there, Josh Schaffner, new paint scheme this week. Looks like the 2005 born on date paint scheme slapped on that 50 machine. With that candy apple red on the lower accents of the car. And it looks like he is going to get away with the Earnhardt striping, considering he's got it set in a way that Teresa can't sue him for. Producer saying she could still sue him, but no, she would. I don't think she's going to pick up this one random iRacing broadcast here. But the artwork is different enough that it could be a... Yeah. As the pace truck starting to roll off here. $325 laps, man. You ready?
I cannot wait. This is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, from us in the booth, man, it's going to be, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a better view up here than it is, I think, for them. It's going to be a lot of fun for drivers as well. But, you know, for us, it's going to be early. Obviously, it looks like it's going to be nighttime conditions here pretty soon as we're getting a sunset vibe. So, which is kind of good for them, too. Gripped up, track, a lot better temperatures, maybe not as loose, perhaps. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, before we go green, the one thing that these guys have really been fighting all week, you know, the changes that they've made to Bristol here. More grip stuck down the bottom, a little bit less grip on the outer and mid lanes. Mid lane may come in later on in the race. These guys will be able to make some moves up there. But the problem is with that mid lane is a lot of cars have been snapping up there this week. A lot of cars just bottoming out on the rub stop a little bit. And as soon as it happens, around she goes in front of the pack. And that could be a huge problem here, especially with these double file restarts. The pace truck working itself into 3 and 4 here, getting ready to make the dive down pit rows. These guys get ready to approach the OB Builders restart zone. Field in the hands of Patrick Gitter here as 30 Gladiators take on the last great Coliseum. Patrick Gitter to the gas quick here. He's going to walk off with the lead down to turn 1.
Already in trouble here. The outside line didn't really get a good jump there. Get it going now.
Tim Wortman didn't quite get the gears the way he was looking for, and airing with a little bit of caution there through 1 and 2. Loses a handful of spots, though, as the conveyor belt of cars rolls around the bottom line. Starting this thing off second, he's going to be sitting back there in 6th place behind Roger Pierce, and he's still in trouble because he's got a car diving down the bottom again.
Ooh, one car around here.
Oh, and around. Chris Crosby, the 9 machine in front of the field. And Wortman just about had it missed, got cleaned out from behind in a huge wreck into turn 1 all the way down to the safety truck. The big one strikes early from Bristol. Shane Clore around. I think that got both of the cars as well as Hyatt. Gallimore gets caught in it. Crosby. Thankfully, they missed Stills and Nash. Very difficult start here for the 9 machine, though. Heavy damage to the center of the nose. Let's see what happens here. A little bit of contact there, potentially between Crosby and Conklin. And right here, what you see is just everybody trying to avoid it and not able to do so. Because once you put a little bit of will in these cars to avoid a wreck, the way these cars are set to turn left, it doesn't want to stop turning. So what happens here, Crosby running a little bit tapered there to the middle.
Oh,
Conklin,
man, yeah.
A little bit of contact between the two of them.
Kind of seemed like some slight net code as well. I know that can kind of plague the drivers as well. But yeah, definitely tight racing for sure.
Right on board here with Crosby. It's like ever so slightly. A little bit of net code sends the car a little free there. And Crosby, you know, once the net code gets to the quarter pound and starts to pick the car around, doesn't really have much of an option on where the car is going to go. He's just a passenger at that point. You see Chris Hudson do a great job snaking through that wreck. It's right on board with Joshua Hyatt here. Coming through 3 and 4, everything looks clean. Huge check up in front of him, and at that point, he has no idea what's going on. That's what I'm talking about. Gets the brakes, car snaps right around. Does a great job, though, because that could have been a way harder impact for him.
couple of cars
Wonder if we
definitely
could-
beat up in the pits right now, man. Yeah, it's just red
I
car.
wonder if we could, because we still got the lights on in the pace truck. I wonder if we could get a quick peek at the 43 machine, because he did an incredible job working through that wreck. At least it looked like it. There may have been more to the story than what I saw, but on board with Chris Hudson here. Coming out turn 2 down the back straightaway. Running patient here through 3 and 4. Sees everybody wrecking, sees the carnage. Look at this, just barely snaking through that. A little bit of a slide coming at the banking. No harm, no foul. Nobody hits him. Great move by the 43 machine. But lights out on the iRacing pace truck here as we work through 3 and 4 back into the OB Builders restart zone. And Patrick Gitter going to lead us to the green flag here. We are back underway. Good clean jump for the 21 machine. Gets him out in front of his teammate, DeCiani. DeCiani comes down to cover the bottom in front of Sean Conklin. Here comes Roger Pierce around the outside, around the 5 machine, though, with a huge head of steam in at 3 and 4. Roger Pierce moving up to second place. And Sean Conklin going to try and follow suit here on the front stretch.
Definitely a good move right there for that 10 machine, but high line can work on a short burst, but you don't want to be up there too long. It'll kill the tires for sure.
And now here comes Roger Pierce taking a peek down to the inside of Patrick Gitter for the lead. Down the back straightaway. Pierce with the advantage. He's going to take away the spot from the 21 machine. Gitter going to crack out of the throttle, let the 27 roll with it. Roger Pierce, 10 laps in, your race leader here from Bristol. Everybody took note on that last restart. Saw the carnage break out early. Majority of the field now just running single file, trying to make it through, trying to save a little bit of tire. No reason to push this early. 12 laps in out of 325. Still a lot of race to go. So we got our eyes on the the DeWalt Tools machine of Joseph Causey. I totally lost my train of thought there. And our producer is breaking me already.
Great point. I feel like last week we saw a couple of guys at Gateway, kind of push too early. And I feel like it really kind of, hurt them maybe in the long run. But right now, to your point, single file had that one early caution flag. And right now, guys are starting to figure it out. But it's a long race. You got to keep those tires on the car. Can't burn them out just yet.
See a little bit of contact with the wall there for the 3 machine of Luke Christian right in front of Justin Levine. No real harm, no foul, though. Everything fine on that machine as we see Tim Wortman Jr. trying to pick up some spots here after the slide a couple laps ago. Wortman definitely looking fast this week as you see him cut down to the bottom here into 1 and 2. Trying to get by the 24 machine of Medina.
Good move right there. Back of the field was starting to get pretty hectic a second ago. They figured it out for the most part right now. A lot of the drivers having different braking zones, entry points. That can definitely cause a stir, but not too long from now, we're going to see these leaders catch these back of the pack. Going to get some lap down drivers here pretty soon.
Yeah, once these guys start to hit traffic too, that's where the chaos really starts to come in up at the front of the pack. Because once you get to these guys, they're not going to be ready to roll over for you instantly, A lot of these guys, they want to stay on the lead lap. You don't want to go a lap down because once you lose a couple laps here at Bristol, you pretty much end up in an unwinnable situation, especially in a series like this where we're going green for as long as we, may end up going, knock on wood. And that puts these lead cars in a lot of dicey positions they don't want to be in because you don't want to be stuck behind somebody that's that much slower than you because you're going to lose your spot up at the front of the pack very quick if you don't. So you have to be opportunistic, but you also got to be smart and calculated about it at the same time. We see Joseph Causey now diving to the inside, trying to make a move on the 8th position. 44 machine of black. Straight away, the 44 with the advantage right now. That outside line momentum helping them around the speedway. Causey just trying to methodically make that bottom line work. It's a battle of inches at this point.
Yeah, Black right now doing what he can to try and hold on to that position. Still battling the 88, but again, this is a good line. It can work. It's usually faster, especially off exit. Man.
As you see Conklin work his way past the 21 machine to get her to take over second place now. Victory 1 machines trying to establish their dominance early here from Bristol. Causey now getting pressure from the 18 machine of Alexander Carr. On board with Alexander Carr here for a lap around the world's fastest half mile.
Tell you what, a lot of guys being smart right now, just kind of single file, saving the fuel, tires maybe even, kind of getting to that second half of the race.
Also, Roger Pierce finds himself in a dicey predicament here. 2 lap cars running side by side in front of him. The 2 machine, Joshua Hyatt, going to crack out of the throttle, let the 27 machine go by. But Pierce's work or difficulty up here at the front of the pack is definitely gotten a little bit harder as he works his way past the 24 machine of Medina now. He'll have his hands full now, because once you cross into those lap cars is where it really starts to get sketchy. And he's got a whole bunch of them in front of him.
Definitely does. And man, a track like this too, you know, as a leader, all you ask for when it comes to these lap down drivers or drivers going a lap down is to just stay predictable, right? If I see you running the lower lane, just stay there for me, and then I'll go around you. Same thing as if they're high. So, man, if these lap down cars can stay predictable, these leaders shouldn't have any issues really.
Yeah, but you know it's never normally the case when we come to these short tracks. It's a lot of these cars, you know, some of these guys are going lap down for a reason. It's because they have an ill-handling race car, and once you start struggling with that right rear tire fade here at Bristol of all places, it takes everything in you not to loop the thing around every second of every lap. And that'll definitely put a guy like Roger Pierce or Sean Conklin on their toes as they try to work through here. So we got our eyes on Paul Bergoli sitting there in 6th place. Our producer's pick here tonight, running pretty strong to start this thing off in that 12 machine. So curious though. Oh, big slide there for I think the 2 machine of Hyatt. So we were talking about, I was talking about a few seconds ago with the ill-handling race cars, and Hyatt definitely struggling right now.
Oh, yeah.
That right rear, so we got the 50 machine of Schaffner diving down pit road already. See what happens here to the 50 Paradigm machine. Oh, double spin there. Teammates, too. 2 of the Paradigm cars go around.
Yeah.
That was Mullins, and I know that was Schaffner. Sorry, this is the 74 machine. Chris Davis. Did you see Davis dive down now, too? Looks like he's bringing her down pit road as well. Nope, just letting the other cars go by. Smart move there from Davis. Classy act. The driver of the 74 machine. Question is that same bug going to bite the 6 machine at Pasalaco? Pretty sure they're running similar stuff all across the board for that group. Austin Edstrom right now trying to make a move here. Moving himself up into the top 10.
Yeah, all the while
before tonight, after Gateway last week, it's just a good, quiet run of things. It does look like the 50 machine of Josh Schaffner going to take the car behind the wall. He is done for the evening.
Man, too early for that. Ooh, one car getting really dicey here. Who is this? Two. Joshua Hyatt, man, all over the place right now. This whole pack around him is getting pretty racy right now.
Schaefer up on the outside line. Hyatt down to the bottom. Schaefer gonna get the run down the straightaway though, get himself clear to the two machine of Hyatt. Here comes Justin Levine following. Hyatt struggling with that 2 car so bad right now. He needs to come down pit road, fire on 4 fresh tires and an adjustment as soon as he gets the opportunity. This is just an absolute cluster of cars right now, man.
And the thing is too, man, I mean, hey, when these tires wear out here, they fall off fast, and you feel it. You cannot turn that wheel. So you are way slower in the corners, especially middle corner. One car in the wall right here, actually 84 green machine up there. Can't quite tell who that is, but in the wall.
It'll be Russell Black that just knocked down the fence up there.
Yeah. Get it going straight now, but yeah, this is going to be the storyline today. I feel like long green flag runs, those tires are going to be really, really hurting.
Well, we both misread his number. It is actually the 64.
Okay.
I said 44 earlier. You said 84. It's the 64. Oh, and yeah, there's that snap I was talking about. Run that middle lane, the transition off onto the straightaway and get into. And you see Edstrom gets into the back of the 64 machine. Some pretty heavy damage there for our Rocket Man. See a little bit of a crease on the splitter. That doesn't look like a whole lot, but I'll get him pretty bad here. But that pack that was looking so chaotic has tamed down a substantial bit here. You see Russell Black still kind of struggling here.
I'll tell you what, that lead pack starting to get pretty tight. Conklin and Pierce, even through the traffic. Sean is right there on the back end.
Oh yeah, there's one thing that's inevitable in this series, and that's having to race Conklin for the win. You see him dive down to the bottom to try and get to the inside of his Victory 1 teammate, now going up to the top to try and build a run. And Roger Pierce, though, he's not going to make it easy for Sean. He's still been duking it out all season long.
It's interesting to me how you see Conklin running that low line, but Pierce is running kind of that middle line. So leads me to believe maybe, you know, Pierce's car not handling as well as he wants to, but maybe he also thinks the outside line can get a better run off the exit, which we do kind of see. But I mean, yeah, definitely different lines. I'm surprised really that Pierce isn't kind of stealing that low lane, kind of block the air.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, but Pierce definitely shot to the front with a large advantage early in this race, so it is possible that he could have maybe been a little overzealous and cooked that right front tire a little more than he wanted to. And now just using the outside line to try and stop the bleeding and make it difficult for Conklin to get the run to get to the back bumper. The longer he stays up there, though, the more he's going to torch that right front tire.
Yes, sir. Making it easy for that point for Conklin to make that move, but it's coming for sure. Just a matter of when at this point.
I can't remember if it was OB last week or NIS that Roger Pierce actually walked away the winner. I think it was NIS because it was Sean that won OB. Pierce has really been picking it up here in the closing weeks of the season. He's had great speed all year long in both NIS and OB Boaters Cup. Just not the luck or the results to show for it. And past handful of weeks has just been putting together really strong runs and really good finishes, finishing where he honestly belongs up here in this top 10, top 5 range. But now Sean Conklin gets to the outside, and he's going to try and make a pass for the lead all the way up against the wall for the 10 machine of Conklin. Down the front straightaway, dead even between these two Victory 1 Camrys. Up against the wall, though, through 1 and 2. And it's going to be Sean Conklin with the advantage here down the back straightaway. Going to pull on that 27 machine of Roger Pierce. Sean Conklin, your race leader, but Roger Pierce not giving up, sends it deep into 3 and 4 to try and close the distance.
And there it is.
Sean Conklin's going to walk away with it here for the time being with a 0.2 of a second advantage already over his teammate. As you look at Patrick Gitter now with his hands full. Adam Benefield sneaking his way into the picture here early. That 83, man, that's one. When we come to these short tracks, you know, I talk about how good he is on the 2-mile tracks. I talk a lot of good about Benefield, but when we come to these short tracks too, you know, I noticed it at Iowa, I noticed it at Richmond. His long run pace on these tracks is something ridiculous. Just so good at saving those tires and giving the car the bare minimal lap after lap to keep it in one piece, and it seems to work out for him more often than not. But now, all over the back bumper, the Ford Chevrolet of Patrick Gitter.
I'll tell you what, too, this is one of those tracks, man, that you have to just be kind of in, like, you got to be ready for it. You can't just kind of fire it up and off you go. This is one of those tracks that, I mean, even in the sim, right, even in your sim seat, you know, whatever you got going on, it's a lot. It's 325 laps is a long time. And back to my point earlier, this can go green for quite a while. So you're constantly in that rhythm of, okay, quick straightaway and then 2 corners, right? Quick straightaway, 2 corners. It's just boom, boom, boom. You got to be on your horse.
Oh man, the sense of speed at this track is unmatchable. As you see, Adam Benefield sent down to the inside of Patrick Gitter. Gitter knows that 83 is a little bit better now, lets him have the position. A little bit of give and take here early at Bristol, and that's what goes a long way. That right there, these guys just giving each other room, giving each other leeway. That's what's going to make this race go green. As Benefield takes over the 3rd spot, now trying to set his eyes forward to the 27 machine of Roger Pierce, but Pierce still running competitive lap times, but losing touch with the leader. We see Brandon Pasalacqua trying to get past his teammate there, the 54 machine of Randy Mullins. Pretty easy move there for him as he gets past the 54 machine.
It's a great point. Already 1.3 second difference right now between the leader and Roger Pierce. So, yeah, whatever Sean found here early on, man, he is just doing really, really good. Able to just gap the field here. Pretty close.
The thing about Sean that makes him so deadly is one of those guys that's figured out how to run up front at the same time as just doing drastic tire saving. And it pays off for him week in and week out. And at a track like this, it's going to be lights out here for that 10 machine as he's now worked his way up to a 1.5 second advantage over his Victory 1 teammate in second. And also putting the 5 machine of DeCiani a lap down as well. Which is honestly surprising because DeCiani, teammate with Patrick Gitter, who's sitting in 4th. A bit of an off night here for the 5 Chevrolet early on.
Yeah, not too bad for a couple of guys you just mentioned. I mean, P5 Paul Hill right now looking pretty good. Kind of in his own little island going through turns 3 and 4 right there. But yeah, just kind of by himself. But this isn't a bad spot to be in, right? I mean, you know, top 5 against the likes of, you know, Roger Pierce, Sean Conklin. You know, these guys are just so good. Benefield is, as you mentioned, so good at these short tracks, man. The top 5 right now is not bad. Still early in this race, too. So a lot of things can happen with pit strategy, tires, long race.
Absolutely. Top 5, not a bad place to be. But if I know Paul Hill well enough, I know that top 5 is not good enough for him by any sense of the imagination. He wants to go out here and try and see how many more he can knock off. A very competitive driver behind the wheel, that 26 machine, who has also made the switch to Toyota here in this week. So looks like everybody hopping on the bandwagon for Gazoo Racing this season. I assume I pronounced that right. Probably pronounced it entirely wrong.
You know what? I've never even understood that either.
I didn't say kazoo though, so I'm proud of myself.
What is a gazoo? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Toyota Gazoo Racing.
No, it's obviously something in Japanese that definitely doesn't translate in America. But we're also probably pronouncing it wrong too, so maybe. I don't know. It means image in Japanese. My producer is telling me. I don't know this.
Love that.
So yeah, the picture racing team, guys. Is that a JPEG or a PNG? That is Toyota's unique image of better garages and cars and crafting better vehicles. Oh, I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for a JPEG. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Tell you what, you can really see the guys who are struggling right now. Middle corners, they look stopped. I'm looking at right now Joshua Hyatt. You know, guys in this in that kind of realm. Jose Medina really struggling in that middle corner speed.
Yeah, Hyatt's been struggling since honestly since we dropped the green flag. No disrespect, just a little bit of a miss on the setup here potentially for the 2 machine, and up here against the wall. He's doing a great job though, keeping that machine out of the way. Knows that he's drastically off pace, not trying to make any mistakes, not trying to mess up anybody's night. So a lot of respect for Hyatt here. Sitting in the 25th spot, you know, there's still potential for recovery. If we end up with that conveyor belt of wrecked cars that we see and know also well from Bristol, you know, he could be sitting pretty by the end of this thing. Pick off a couple of extra spots at least. Because it is a war of attrition when we come here. As we look through the top 5 right now, Sean Conklin leads Roger Pierce over Adam Benefiel, Patrick Gitter, and Paul Hill. We got reports that the 74 machine of Davis went around there. Let's see what happens. Sends the car down. I think this is 3 and 4. Big snap. Locks up, tags it off the wall, keeps it straight though, keeps the caution from coming out, and drives the thing back off. Rough night though for that 74 machine. Looks like he's just really struggling with the longevity of that right rear tire. What I've heard from multiple drivers this week, Bristol with this new patch, with this new build, this new tire, it's pretty much walking on eggshells every second of every lap. You know, it used to be you can really just grab the throttle and send it down the straightaways. This year, not seeming to be the case. A lot of these cars just absolutely on edge. The 6 machine of Pazalaco sitting in 8th, right in front of Justin Levine in 9th. Levine carving his way through traffic here. Patient race for him so far, though. Barbergoli hanging on to a top 10 spot right now, sitting in 10th, but starting to fall into the clutches of Daniel Wiles.
You brought up a good point, too, earlier on. I mean, these setups, right? Different setups, different drivers. It could, some just fire off different. Some might not be great on the short run, right? But maybe some are really good on the long run. Able to kind of hone it in. Car doesn't get as loose or maybe tight, depending on the conditions right now on track, but a lot to still figure out. We're only almost 100 laps in already. This thing is going by pretty quick.
Yeah, no, these guys definitely rocketing through it here. This is what I was expecting. I've been looking forward to this all week. You know, I've been watching the NISs this week and been very disappointed. And just looking forward to OB Builders Cup on Thursday night, where I know that these guys, the best of the best on this sim, are going to put together a good, clean race from start to finish. And so far, they're proving it.
Medina right now in pit road. Slid through his pit box, had to back up, but looks like 4 tires and fuel, and off he goes.
And Sean Conklin has checked out from the field. 97 laps in, 5-second advantage over Roger Pierce in second. See another car coming down pit road. Paul Bergoli brings the 12 Mustang down for 4 tires and fuel. You know, I'm not too sure what the strategy is at Bristol because I haven't seen it go green long enough here in all the years I've been on the service to know.
Right.
When you should pit and when you shouldn't.
Well, one thing to keep in mind too, this is a dual pit road situation. So for the fans at home watching, I mean, this is kind of what they do, right, in the real world, 2 pit roads. Sometimes certain leagues decide to do just 1 pit road, and it basically just kind of horseshoes around the track for pit road and how to get on and how to get off. But right here, this is kind of the issue too, is that under green flag conditions, you got to keep in mind which straightaway you're pitting on so you don't mess it up and come down the wrong one. That could definitely be a killer.
I've always hated, never understood why we have to do the dual pit road. I mean, I get it under caution, but under green, it's just so, or not the single pit road. I mean, under caution, it makes sense, but under green, it clueless as to why we do it. See the 28 machine of Paul Hill now working his way up to the back bumper of the 4th place machine. Patrick Gitter, your pole sitter. Paul Hill clicking off some pretty good lap times here. Sucks up to the top here. But not able to close the gap this go around.
Looking at Bergoli right now, just came down for 4 tires and fuel and getting through the field pretty quick right now. Obviously multiple laps down, but looking pretty fast. And this is one of those things too, right? I mean, green flag stops start to happen and the tire differences are massive, brand new to old tires. And that could cause some issues too. So caution, definitely. I could see it happening during this transition of green flag stops, but so far so good.
Last time across the line, it was a 15.901 from Sean Conklin, your race leader. Across the stripe for Paul Bergoli, a 15.3. No, it drops off to a 16.0 as he's in traffic. We'll see we'll get a good read on it here, though, once he gets some clean air as he gets past the 88 machine of Joseph Causey. That's a through 3 and 4 here. Across the stripe. This go-around is going to be a 15.341. And a full lap of clean air here. Should be a pretty quick one for Bergoli. As Sean Conklin walks off to a 7-second advantage now. And another 15.3, so that seems to be the threshold for Paul Bergoli right now. 0.5 a second, a lap different doesn't seem, that massive on paper, but when you're talking about a track where each lap is around 15 seconds, that's a huge disparity in speed.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, to your point, Conklin 7.6 second gap right now. Absolutely checking out right here.
Roger Pierce, 2nd place, 0.4 of a second slower last lap over Conklin. Benefield, same thing. Benefield and Pierce matching times right now. They're side by side right now for 2nd. Benefield working the bottom line to try and get past the 27 machine of Roger Pierce. Pierce not going to give it to him easy, though. These two both incredible drivers, but both fierce competitors. Down to the bottom here. Adam Benefield still trying to make something work on that bottom line, but Roger Pierce going to use that outside line to just barely be able to hold even on pace into 3 and 4. Across the stripe, that lap's going to go to Roger Pierce. Down in 1 and 2. Does Benefield have anything he can stick? Oh, he slides up the track a little bit. Almost makes contact with the 27 machine. They both keep it under him, though, into 3 and 4. And it's going to be just as tight through 3 and 4 as it was through 1 and 2. And this is the spot that Paul Bergoli did not want to find himself in. 2 guys racing for position. He's sitting here on fresh tires, knows that if he wants to get any advantage with this undercut, that he's got to go now, but he doesn't have the opportunity to because these two are just about dooring each other off the corners.
Agreed. And hey, you know what? Man, Paul Hill especially, too. He's right behind him. Not too far. 0.3 of a second now.
Paul Hill's been running some really good lap times, too. Just about a half-tenth quicker than the 2 in front of him. And oh, Paul Hill gets turned sideways down the front straightaway into 1.
That changes a lot.
It's going to trap a handful of cars a lap down as we see what happens here. Chris Hudson to the outside. And that's a classic Bristol incident right there. One car slides up, the other car is up there on the top from the momentum they get on the outside line. It's just one of those deals that nobody wants to end up in that, but there's not much you can really do to avoid it. That's just the character of this racetrack. But with 117 laps on the board, working our second caution of the night, we're going to send it off to a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to bring you more of the racing action here on the grid. And welcome back to the OB Builders Cup Series. Working our second caution right now. Lights out on the iRacing Pace truck. Sean Conklin and Roger Pierce up here at the front of the pack. And currently looks like Sean Conklin's race to lose because a lot of dominant pace so far out of this 10 machine. Pulled away about 8 seconds on that last stint. Pace truck makes the descent down as they work into the restart zone here. Sean Conklin firing through the gears quick. It's a great launch over his Victory 1 teammate Roger Pierce down to 1 and 2. And he's going to clear for the lead. Side by side right now for third, though. Austin Edstrom was to the inside of Adam Benefield, but lets Benefield have it down the back straightaway. And just about back to the single file, but Brandon Pasalacqua trying to make quick work here of the 13 machine of Daniel Wiles, and he's going to make it happen down the back straightaway.
Green Machine still trying to work his way on the high line here. Louis Christian. Best time to try and pass cars are right now on these restarts while tires are fresh. You have the time to do it. But we just had a 100 lap-ish run on green flag. So now you know kind of what to do, what to expect in these next 100 laps. So you can kind of gauge, you know, how to race this, right? Maybe if you use too much tires, definitely save right now. Pass people later on.
Right now, Luke Christian going to pass a handful of guys, moves himself past Matt DiCiani to get himself slotted up here into the 14th position. Good launch in that restart for the 3 machine of Luke Christian now as he starts to put pressure to the back of the 43 machine of Chris Hudson. And Chris Hudson, different lap. You got a lot of guys cycled out in different places right now. But Alexander Carr, that's absolutely for position. As you see Luke Christian sent around the outside here in a 1 and 2. And a huge head of steam will carry that 3 machine up to the 13th spot down the back straightaway. One driver that's coming alive right now, the 6 machine of Pasalacqua, ran very conservative that first stint, making a lot of moves around the top line right now to get himself up into position. Just got past the 87 machine of Austin Edstrom for 4th. Now trying to get to the top of Adam Benefield here in a 1 and 2. And he's going to get to the quarter. He's going to be able to get the pass.
He's making it happen. He's not going to be giving it lightly, though, but definitely has it now.
And a good run for Brandon Pasalak. We're going to get himself up into third place here. Just behind Roger Pierce and Sean Conklin. Paradigm Chevrolet's looking pretty good this evening. Everybody else is kind of tapering down here, knowing that they have to save tires. Long way to go to finish this thing out.
Yeah, it's just part of that attrition factor, right? I mean, can you get yourself to the end of this thing first? Obviously, racing-wise is pretty clean, which is great. But yeah, I mean, we saw in that first long green flag run what to expect, how to save tires. But now, Roger Pierce, for example, he's right behind Sean Conklin again, P1 and 2 respectively. But can Roger learn anything about what Sean just did to pass him right there and get that huge lead? Now's your chance for redemption.
Definitely. You see Roger being a little more conservative this run than he was in the first one. Just staying a couple tenths of a second back off the rear bumper of his teammate. You see Pasalacqua trying to make the outside line work, trying to catch the 27 machine sleeping here. But I don't think it's going to be an easy pass. We've seen how fast Roger Pierce is this race.
Pasalacqua on
the roof. Oh, continue.
It doesn't seem like Pasalacqua is trying to hold up. He's really trying to kind of push the issue here a little bit, not saving as much maybe as the front two, but again, maybe he wants to get to that front of the field, get the clean air, see if that matters, and it might.
I will say it has unfortunately been a while since Brandon Pasalacqua has been able to taste the clean air in this series with how fast these Victory 1 machines and others have been running this season. And Brandon probably realizing that he was a little too conservative on that last run, really set himself up further in the pack. Only 10 cars left on the lead lap. Why not get out here and charge it and see what happens? See him work the outside line around Roger Pierce out of turn 2, down the back straightaway into 3. Pasalacqua with a huge head of steam, going to be side by side to the start-finish line here. Pasalacqua second place for now. He chases the thing up the hill through 1 and 2 again down the back straightaway, and that's going to be enough of a run, I think, to almost get him to clear. Should get him to 3 and 4 here this time. And yes, but not close enough.
Could be cleared here off the corner. Like he is. Hey, a good move, though. If you're a Conklin, if you're Pierce, don't race him too hard, right? You obviously know how to make your tires last. Pasalacqua, hey, maybe he does too, but right now, it's not the time to race Pasalacqua hard. Do what he wants and pass him again later on.
There we go. Pasalacqua with really good pace out of that 6 machine up to the back bumper. Sean Conklin down to 1 and 2. I think at the bare minimum, he's trying to get that top line worked in at least. Brandon tiptoes the outside line, look a little bit further back. Back bumper again into 1 and 2, now to the top of the track. See him starting to bring that line down a little bit. Not going as aggressively high as he was earlier. So last thing he wants to do is get that 27 machine up under his quarter panel here. Here comes Roger Pierce taking a look down to the inside. Not able to connect at that outside line, really carrying Pasalacqua down these straightaways, giving him a little bit of extra breathing room over the 27, but how long until those tires are going to start to fade on the OB Builder Chevrolet? Down to the inside, here comes Pasalacqua trying to make a move to the bottom now. But Conklin's going to use that top line to carry him down the back straightaway. He's going to run away with it for the time being. Bevilacqua cycling in on the inside, though. Knows that he can't stay up there too much longer unless he wants to tear those tires off of that Chevrolet. But here comes Pierce peeking to the bottom again.
And he is fighting for it for sure. He wants that lead.
Brandon's not going to give up here at the front. I feel like part of it, too, is he knows how fast these guys are getting ready to catch the lap traffic. And probably wants to force, wants to stay glued to the bumper to maybe force Sean into making a mistake up at the front.
I like that call. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think if he can't make this move right now, it's going to be tough. I think we'll see him start to fall off pretty quick. If that is the case, if he can't make that move right now.
Because they can see lap traffic just in front of them, about a half straightaway, or a straightaway ahead. Jose Medina, the first of the cars that's going to lose a lap here on this cycle. It's right on board with Conklin. That's a little bit out there, but once you get to one, you get to just about all of them, it feels like, here at Bristol. To the outside of the quarter now. Past the Lockwood, and Conklin's going to shut the door in his nose. Coming down the front straightaway. Brandon is not giving up on that top line fight. Gets such a good run out of 2, but it just doesn't seem to work through 3 and 4. It seems like he loses a little bit to Conklin here.
I'll tell you what, this is the closest battle on track, too.
I think the tires may be fading now because you see him tag the fence a little bit out of turn 2 there as well. Here comes Roger Pierce at the bottom, up into the quarter panel. A little bit of contact down the front straightaway. Pierce sending it to the inside here into 1 and 2 on the 6th machine at Bevilacqua. Brandon gets a great run down the back straightaway to pull himself ahead. I mean, if he's going to try and get by Sean, he's going to have to play a little bit harder. He's going to have to lean a bumper into the back of that 10 machine. If these guys keep racing hard like this, I'm looking in the background and I'm seeing that 83 machine at Benefield start to sneak his way into the picture frame by frame each lap here.
100%. Right now, good racing mode too. Still with Alexander Carr right here. A couple of guys actually. Who's this right here? Paul Gilmore. Matt DiCiani still trying to make his way back up to the front. Right back at 21st spot though, but good racing all throughout the track right now.
And if we take another look at Benefield here, I see what makes him so deadly here this week, or just anytime we go to the short tracks. Watch everybody else. They're running, about a quarter of a lane up through the corner. Benefield absolutely hooking the paint on both ends of the track. And I talk about it every week about how important that is. I'm sure I get a lot of eyes rolled at me because you can make any other lane work here on iRacing. But as far as longevity goes, for me, I've never found anything better than just wrapping the absolute bottom of the track as close as you can get before you go under that yellow line to work, especially for saving those tires because you have to just back the car down so much to make it work down there. And it's a great way to kind of measure how hard you're driving. If you can make that bottom line work for 50 laps, it means you're doing a great job saving because you're having to put as little input in it to make it stick down there. Start run up on the track, that means you got a little too much of something in the car, whether it be too much brake, lock up, a little too much throttle, too much speed coming into the corner, too much in center. And once you start doing that for a couple laps, you start to overheat these tires. And once you do that, it feels like you can never get them back to you. A little bit further back right now, the 54 machine starting to fall into the clutches of Justin Levine. 54, Mullins, lap down. Being going to dive to the bottom, Mullins going to let the 19 Mac Tools Camry have a little bit of breathing room here on the front straightaways. He tries to get to the back bumper of his teammate, Austin Edstrom, in the 87 machine. But up at the front, it is still 3 cars under a blanket. And Adam Benefield back there looking like he's starting to get a little cold.
Man, these guys getting racy right here. Alexander Carr and, yeah, Matt DeCiani again. You can tell that a couple of guys here are faster, but just can't get around them. Kind of going back to that one groove racetrack. The outside line does work, but you don't want to kill the tires, right? So it's, what do you do? Right now, DeCiani going to get around here, maybe. Ooh. Yeah, car on the wall. Man.
Say what, if this was the old car, you'd see a lot more passing here, I feel. It seems like that dirty air is still playing effect, even here at Bristol. You watch Pasalakwa still trying to work that outside line to try and break the dirty air to get the run to get to the back bumper. And honestly, I think the only thing that Brandon's going to be able to do to get past Sean, because Sean's doing such a tremendous job playing defense here, is I feel like Brandon's either going to have to catch him in lap traffic making a mistake, or just be a little opportunistic with the front bumper on that OB Builder Chevrolet.
Don't count out Benefield, though. He is right there.
Yeah, Benefield has snuck his way into the picture. These 3 have all been up here sending it, trying to keep Pasalakwa at bay, all racing for the lead. And that's opened up the door for that 83 machine, because he's just been slow and steady on the bottom and right behind Benefield. A couple car lengths back, the 21 machine, your pole sitter, Patrick Gitter, working his way back into the mix. Also, just can't believe how well Pasalak was done working this middle to top lane lap after lap. I've talked about how bad cars have been snapping from that groove this week as he dives down to the bottom with a huge run into turn 1, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything with it as Conklin cycles to the top here. Conklin retains the lead down the back stretch. Pasalak now going to go back to the outside line through 3 and 4. And Causey going to use the outside line to try and get around the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter for 5th place. And he's going to clear him down the back stretch. Here comes Justin Levine, maybe going to try the same thing through 3 and 4.
It's a great move.
Gitter, too, is one of those guys that knows when he's been had. And, oh, a little bit of contact up at the front. Pasalakwa sends a bumper to the back of Sean Conklin through 3 and 4. 1 and 2 is going to go back around the outside line. But here's the question now. How aggressive does that 3rd place car of Roger Pierce start running now? You've seen a little bit of contact made with your teammate. He's going to rough him up the track a little bit through 3 and 4. You know, when you see somebody throw a bumper at somebody, you know that just opens up the opportunity for you to do the same thing because you know how they're going to run it. And Pierce gets up into the door a little bit out of turn 2. Up into the fence goes the 6 machine of Pasalakwa. Pasalakwa going to hold tight, though, through 3 and 4. And it's going to be a drag race into turn 1.
And Roger Pierce took full advantage of that right there. Still side by side. Benefield, though, might be able to sneak his way through and follow Pierce past Pasalakwa if he's able to.
On board with Benefield here, and Benefield just committed to saving those tires as long as he can. Has not come up off that bottom lane. You see him giving up a little bit on corner exit, but he's so good entry through center. He's able to make up a majority of it. Pasalak with breathing room and a little bit more contact to the back of Sean Conklin in a 1. Down to 3 and 4. Sean Conklin holding on to the lead now, but this entire field has caught right back up to your leaders. Up to the top of the track now in 1 and 2 to try and build a bit of an advantage. Trying to build a run down the back straightaway to get up to the rear bumper again into 3. Pasalak was not playing. He wants the lead, and he wants it now. It's really tight, though, through 1 and 2 that time. Loses a little bit of time down the backstretch.
Tell you what, though, Causey and Levine right now, they're not wasting any time. Got around Benefield right here on the outside, and now they're coming for that front spot. Went from 0 to 100 pretty quick at the front of the field.
And down to the inside for the lead into turn 3. Here comes Brandon trying to make another stab at it on the bottom. Conklin's going to cover it, though. And Brandon's going to lose a little bit of time down the front straightaway here. And here comes Roger Pierce around the outside for second. And a huge run. Pierce is going to take second place back over down the backstretch.
Something must have happened to Benefield. He is just falling off right now.
I think Benefield looked at the lap counter and remembered we still have, you know, what would be a full-length NIS left in this thing. Or not NIS, but A Open. I think Benefield is just so committed to not racing anybody, trying to preserve his stuff as long as possible, that he's giving up a little bit of opportunity here. As you see, Austin Edstrom worked that outside line to get past the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. Now Joseph Causey racing Justin Levine. This is the battle for 4th place. And the battle for 2nd is happening right in front of them, as well as Roger Pierce and Passalacqua are side by side again. And this is playing exactly how Sean Conklin wants it to.
Yeah, Sean really just needs to stay out in front, you know, by this amount. He doesn't need to be up front by 7 seconds like he was before. As long as he's up front, I mean, you know, he's good. He can save his tires, preserve, and watch the racing.
Take 2nd place back again from Pierce. Pierce going to send it in high, though, into 3 and 4. Get just about to the quarter pound of the 6th machine to try and keep momentum as well. It's going to slow him down a little bit. And this is just letting Conklin walk away, but these guys are also about to work themselves into lap traffic here. This right here, this is the racing that you love to see from Bristol. Oh, and a little bit of contact into 1. He's going to send Passalacqua up the hill. Up into the fence goes the 6th machine. Pierce takes 2nd back over. Ran into the back bumper in 1-2. Going to try and go to the outside line again. Pierce slams the door in his face down the backstretch. Oh, Pierce gets loose out of 4. Drag race on the backstretch into 3. Passalacqua working the high line to try and get past the 27 machine of Roger Pierce for 2nd. Good clean run into 1 and 2. Pierce going to hold strong, though, through corner center. But Passalacqua going to clear back to 2nd place. A little bit of attack with the fence, but not going to hurt him any.
Yeah, Levine making the outside lane work, but he just keeps kissing that wall. That won't last long.
Yeah, Levine just really lucky that these cars are bulletproof. Him and Passalacqua both. But now here's the question. Did these guys burn up too much stuff battling for 2nd? Is Conklin going to be able to slip away here? Also, we are 81 laps on this set of tires.
Which is a lot. I mean, that's not no short amount. So I think we're going to start to see these guys struggle. And, man, right now, the whole 6 cars right now under a blanket here going for the lead, top 3. So awesome stuff right now.
Also impressed by is how long it's taking these guys to start to catch up to lap traffic. Conklin just now starting to work his way up to the back bumper, the 2 machine of Josh Hyatt. And a couple car lengths in front of him is Jose Medina in the 24. And it's a pretty long stint to get to Greg Carr, which is the next one in danger of going a lap down. Conklin still with his hands full. Passalacqua working the outside line still, trying to get to the back bumper. That 6th machine, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I gotta admit, he's hanging on a lot better than I thought he was.
And down to the inside here. Trying to catch him up on that outside line. Maybe use the lap car as a pick, but he doesn't have the momentum to carry him. Now here comes Austin Edstrom with a huge run down the back straightaway. 3 and 4. What's the Rocket Man going to be capable of as he brings the Stanley Tools Camry up to second place in a huge run, pulling him to the back bumper of Sean Conklin. And a peek down to the bottom. No, stays in line. Could give him a bumper there into 3 and 4, but chose not to do it. Edstrom working the top now through 1 and 2. This is the first time we've seen Austin in position here all race long.
And where did he come from?
Gonna fall back in line. Doesn't want to get stuck behind the lap traffic. These Sabilo Esports machine really turning up the wick here in the closing stages. And down to the bottom, here comes Edstrom for the lead in a 1 and 2. Side by side on the back straightaway, but Conklin using the outside line to lean on. Austin slides up a little bit into 3 and 4, falls back behind the 10 machine. An unfortunate break for Paul Bergoli. Has a power outage here tonight. Edstrom is breathing down his neck here, and I'm wondering how much that 87 machine has been able to save. All these guys have been up front racing so hard. I wonder if maybe those tires might be a little bit better for old Rocket Man there.
Yeah, you can just tell, man, how much he saved earlier on. He is right there in the back end and definitely has some speed. All the while, a couple of guys, man, falling off hard. Roger Pierce in P6 right now. We just saw him fighting right behind his teammate, Sean Conklin, but right now, going backwards.
I think Roger maybe just burned a little too much trying to stay up there in the mix. Edstrom going to the outside now, up to the quarter. But not able to match that center speed on the bottom. Now Edstrom tries to cross over here into turn 1. Just not able to get it to connect here into 3 and 4. Sean doing such a great job here, just playing defense.
The runs Edstrom gets are crazy. Just has to kind of time it right. He should be there.
Also, looks like Sean's doing a little bit of clutching here. Trying to save the fuel window. A big burp on the clutch there into turn 1. You see it. So Sean's out here dogging the hell out of these guys as well as saving fuel. It's incredible. Well, Birdie's telling me that they've been clutching the entire run.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of work to do, especially in a place like this, so physical, so much going on. But that's why they're the best.
That's pretty nerve-wracking, considering everybody else is out here dogging as best they can. Kazi gets loose there into 3. Well, Ken Byron telling us that Sean does not need to pit with as much fuel as he saved here. That is definitely scary for the rest of these guys.
Yeah, but the question is, will we see another caution? I mean, that works for a green flag run. The caution comes out, changes everything.
Caution comes out, and Sean can just lean into it like he did on that first run and just walk away from the field again.
Yeah, exactly.
As Edstrom takes a peek to the bottom again here into turn 1. And lap traffic here on the board. They're going to thread themselves through here. 3 wide with lap cars. Never suggested, but they went for it anyway here. Kazi has to dive all the way down to the apron just about to avoid the traffic. 224 laps on the board. I think it's as good a time as any to send off to a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back to bring you more of the racing action here on the grid.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the OB Builders Cup Series live from Bristol. And somebody call NASA. Houston, we have a problem because Rocket Man has found himself to the lead here as he passes Sean Conklin a few laps ago to take P1 in the Stanley Tools Camry. You get a look at the replay for the pass here. Eston gets a really good run out of 4 into 1. Takes that outside line. Launches it around. Conklin not able to get to the top in time to block off the run, and Edstrom sends it down to the top into 3 and 4 and just pelts it up off down the front straightaway.
It's a fantastic move, but makes me wonder if Sean Conklin's maybe saving a bit, or Edstrom just had that run of steam and made it happen.
Edstrom licked the stamp and sent it. That's what happened there. Conklin, I think, just being more aggressive with that fuel saving strategy now trying to make sure that he's able to make it to the number.
Right now,
Patrick Gitter driving past to unlap himself from Austin Edstrom. A couple guys come down pit road there while we were under commercial break. Patrick Gitter, one of them. Roger Pierce as well in the 27 machine. And Austin, but bend it coming out of turn 2 there. That last go around. I'll tell you what, great night here for the Sabila Esports guys. Got 3 of the top 5 spots unlocked right now with Austin Estrom, Joseph Causey, and Justin Levine. Sean Conklin carrying the torch for victory run. Les dominated this race from flag to flag just about before Edstrom take the lead away a little bit ago. 10 Machine's been bad fast all night. And Daniel Wiles sitting there in 5th place. Good showing for him in the team. In the Team Conti machine. Sorry, it is one sim in this league, not Sabila Esports. I'm going to get smacked by somebody for that. Probably Justin. Because Estrom can't throw a punch. And Causey's just a little too lazy too, but Austin Estrom going to send down pit road here, as well as Joseph Causey for the 4-tire lockup from Causey we see every week. Oh, he didn't do it this week. Green flag pit stops here at Bristol. Justin Levine, Sean Conklin staying out on track with Daniel Wiles, Adam Benefield, and Brandon Pasalacqua. And those are the only cars left on the lead lap here. 5 cars left up here at the front. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. Now, the thing is, these guys who just pit right now, they can push rest of the way. We're about, 80 laps to go now, 79 laps to go. So definitely they can push, whereas maybe a guy like Sean Conklin, the guys up front, maybe can't push like they want to. So depending on if this thing stays green, maybe get a caution here or there. You never know, but a lot can change still. I like this move, though. I like being on the offense as a driver. You know, come in, get the fuel, get the tires. Let me go out there, run some qualifying laps. See what I can do.
Question is, will these guys be able to unlap themselves as well as drive themselves back up to the front?
Right.
No, it's a long way to go here at Bristol, and it looks like lap times kind of plateau pretty quick here this week. You know, the fastest laps we've seen have been around the 15.2 bracket. And, you know, I'm sitting here looking at Daniel Wiles right now, sitting in 3rd place, running 15.9s. So we're not having as substantial lap time fall off as you would typically expect. I mean, it's still a decent bit, you know, but how much of those tires are really going to benefit once you burn them up trying to get through traffic?
Right.
You see one car hard into the fence there. '60s 67 machine, Tom Zahara, hard contact with the wall in front of your leader there a little bit ago, but on fresh tires, you're going to still be able to drive away from Sean Conklin, who's just trying to save to make it to the end here in that 10 machine. My question is, what's Levine's strategy been? He's opting to stay out here, and he's well back behind your race leader.
I mean, same for, I guess, Daniel Wiles, too. He's right there, right behind him. 2 and 3 looking to race it out here. But, yeah, I mean, are they on the same strat as Sean? But do they have to pit, right? It's find out.
Not seeing any clutch work from on board of Levine's car. Sorry about that. Does look like he is trying to save as he lets Wiles work his way by on the outside. I just can't believe how long we've been green here at Bristol. This is insane.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Crap, I said something. I said it. You know, I do take that back. Levine also hard clutching right now, trying to save as much fuel as he can. Across the line that last time by 15.9 for Sean Conklin. Currently, Austin Edstrom running 15.5s. Good news for Edstrom is he does not have to worry about saving anything else. He knows that he's good to make it to the end. He does have that extra little bit to bring home with him. It's just a matter if he's going to be able to close or not. Justin Levine throws in the towel, brings the 19 Camry down pit road. That leaves Sean Conklin, Daniel Wiles, and Adam Benefield, the only three that are staying out on track right now. And such a good run for that 13 machine of Wiles. Late pickup here to the OB Builders Cup Series season, but has been running incredible races since he's first showed up here. And a good run here tonight at Bristol, a track that so many people struggle with. Definitely a little bit of positive momentum to bring forward into next week when we go to New Hampshire, which I'm looking forward to.
That'll be a lot of fun. My home track. Love that place. As Wiles right now going to get swallowed up by drivers on much fresher tires here.
New Hampshire is one of the very few tracks here on iRacing that every time we go there, I know I have a shot at a win, as we see Luke Christian get real close to Wiles there. I don't know why I'm good there. It works for me for some reason. The first time I ran there, I thought it was going to be terrible because I remember running, I'd ran an NR03 league the year before I got on iRacing. And we went to New Hampshire twice, and both times I blew the right front and totaled the car. Came on here, and it just made sense. And now, as far as unlapping himself, Edstrom has worked his way past the 13 machine of Wiles. So ways to go to get to Sean Conklin, though. And as slow of a crawl as it is, I don't think that they're going to have enough pace to be able to close it off. Also, Roger Pierce, they're in fourth. Went for the undercut, and it's working out for him. Daniel Wiles brings it down pit road here from third. All eyes right now on that 10 machine is Sean Conklin, as he puts down what is arguably his most dominant performance we've seen yet. You know, we've seen him do this on road courses. We've seen him do it at North Wilkesboro. But, you know, those are tracks where you can kind of look at it with a grain of salt. Just like, well, you know, not many people run a lot of laps around those places. Not many people have, you know, as much experience with how the place goes. When you come to a track like Bristol and you walk away by 8 seconds on the first run, saving fuel and saving tires on the second stint, and you've got a 6-second lead over second place, Adam Benefield. I mean, that's just an impressively dominating run. It's definitely the real deal.
I got to say, though, I am curious what Benefield decides to do here. I mean, is he going to commit to this too? Can he make it all the way? Or does he have to pit?
I think that's why we saw Benefield give up so much time at the beginning of the run. You mentioned it early. You know, it was like Benefield fell off a cliff. And I think that Benefield's been back there doing a bit of the same. Just save, make it to the end. And a caution is out. Reese Schaefer goes around.
Man, what an untimely caution this one is.
Going to be a 50-lap dash to the finish. And problem is, it's only going to be 2 cars on the lead lap here. I mean, a bunch of guys are going to get waves, but with old tires, they might as well be lapped. See Schaefer running up on the outside line. Ooh. Transition, catches the car wrong. Grabbed the fence a little bit as well. The 97 machine sideways here on the front straightaway.
Into those marbles. You can run pretty high here, but not that high. And might have gotten himself loose there.
Roger Pierce going to be the recipient of the Lucky Dog free pass here. So he'll get himself back on the lead lap, but we'll be mired behind, about 20-some lap cars. See Lou Christian snag a little bit of the back one for the 97 machine as he's trying to get past the wreck. And really uncharacteristically rough night here for Reese Schaefer. Had high hopes coming into Bristol. Bristol track that's been really good to Reese. Won here last year in the SSRL Masters Series in his first start, actually, in the league. And it was actually one of the first 2 races I covered here on Grid Vision. So I believe it was early. Thank you. I have, according to DI9 Driver, I haven't improved it on. No, I haven't. In all them years. This whole year. I got no idea what I'm talking about. Thank you.
You gonna take that?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm not allowed to be. I'm not allowed to be as unfiltered here as I am other broadcasts in the week.
So, Conklin and Benefield did come down pit road, which to no surprise of anybody. So now, this is my question, right? They can just push like crazy here, I feel like. Still 50, well, less than 50 to go now, but so I think they can push to a degree and just set sail.
And if you're any of the other guys in this field, you're just you're praying for another quick caution here, especially if you're one of these guys on the tail end of the lead lap as you see him working to the OB restart zone here for what might be the final time. Through the gears quick is Sean Conklin as he takes the green flag, gets himself a nice car length advantage over Adam Benefield in second place. And this run will be entirely different. You know, last run we saw Conklin save all the way through. Gave these guys an opportunity to get a jump on him, but I don't think you're going to see that here. I think it's going to be lights out for that 10 machine. You see Roger Pierce dive to the bottom and disappear. There he is. We found him. Roger Pierce working himself back through the lap traffic to try and officially take over the 3rd spot here on track. And such a great night for Roger Pierce, too, to be in that top 5 hunt all race long. He's put together a really good performance, and he's really been picking it up here in these past couple of weeks. Big win last week in NIS. Good finish in LB Builders Cup. And it's just all going uphill for that 27 machine. Now just a couple of tenths of a second separating him from second place Adam Benefield. And it's basically just a 3-car battle for it right now because everybody else, like I said, on way older stuff now. Sean Conklin retaining the lead here. 285 into turn 1. Benefield getting closer to the back bumper, though. Takes a peek to the inside in 3 and 4. Just got to get a little bit closer if he wants to make anything happen. And a little bit of a wiggle for Benefield. That's going to open up an advantage for Sean Conklin down the back straightaway into 3.
Man, yeah, I feel like if you're Benefield, you got to go now. I mean, you have to be able to get up front, get the lead, try and get the lead, and never know. Get a bunch of cautions late in this race. Find yourself. Oh,
Benefield up the track. Gets loose in the corner. Hard into the outside wall.
Man, forget everything I just said. Just lost it into the wall again here in 3 and 4.
Oh, he said he just came over the radio, said his pedal broke. Rough break, no pun intended, for Adam Benefield here in the 83 machine. Definitely not the place to have a brake pedal failure. So right on board with Benefield, and it just right there, all the way up the track.
Unfortunate. So, unironically, we have now Roger Pierce right in P2. Obviously, older tires by a little bit, but can he get himself front of his teammate.
Oh, he did take the lucky, so he was able to get 4 tires and fuel there on pit road.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So he does have that to his advantage. He's the only guy out here that's not on old tires that isn't Benefield or Conklin. And Benefield just trying to limp it around here to finish it off in 3rd place. At this point, I mean, I don't think there's any way you're going to beat Sean Conklin. This is his race.
One car around here on the start-finish line.
We got a yellow. 64 machine. Russell Black. Happens, tags the fence. Things are down into, I think that's 3 and 4. And just back end, sorry, 1 and 2. Yeah, back end just loops around on him. On board with Russell here again. You see right there, just a little too much wheel, a little too much throttle, and just instant snap. No way you can save these next-gen cars, especially at a track like Bristol.
I'll tell you what, leader's coming down. Who takes 2 tires here? This could be a chance to sneak out in front.
Absolutely could. If you're Conklin, you're not going to give him the chance. You're going to take 2 tires yourself. Sean Conklin taking 2 tires to ensure that he wins the race off pit road.
Smart move.
He's been here a time or 2. Hey, man, what an incredible race Sean has put together here tonight.
Just super dominant. I mean, just knows what he's doing, gets up front, and maintains the lead. Able to, block, with the air too, right? Aero blocking is big, especially with this new car, Gen 7. So, yeah, I mean, just doing what he can. I'd be curious to see what it looks like in a world where somebody else is in front, just to see how that kind of air works, or if he's able to pass or not pass, I guess. But we'll see. I mean, right now, ways to go here. About 26 laps, maybe. Go back green here.
See the lap cars get the wave around here. Field now in the hands of Sean Conklin and Roger Pierce. Edstrom back in 3rd place on fresh tires here. Sorry, Benefield back in 3rd place on fresh tires. Edstrom 4th, fresh tires. Everybody up here in the lead lap is now just about equal with each other. And this is also the most cars you've had on the lead lap in what feels like forever.
So who's going to push it here? How's your chance?
Start for Sean Conklin. Gets through the gears better than anybody else down in turns 1 and 2. Outside line struggle, though. Roger Pierce gets loose. A little bit of an arrow slide off the nose of Edstrom. I think it might have been, it could have just been snap.
Oh, yeah, I just lost it off the exit.
Yeah, I don't know if it was aero or if it was just the transition, because that transition has been biting people like crazy this week. Big slide, rough break for Roger Pierce, who's run so good tonight. Right on board with Pierce here. He just comes up off the corner, and the car doesn't stop coming out of the corner. Well, this changes a thing or two.
Oh yeah. I mean, we know how fast Sean is, but now we've got a couple of guys in the back here. Edstrom, Kazi, Pasalakwa, who have shown speed, in this race at certain times of the race. Never been able to get. Actually, Edstrom did get past Conklin at one point. So can we see that again?
Unfortunately, after that wreck, Adam Benefield going to send it behind the wall here for the night. Another great run by Adam, kind of taken out of his hands. No fault of his own, but really, an incident like that, it's not to the fault of anybody. It's late in these cars handle different than they did all race long on fresh tires. Mistakes are made sometimes. So it looks like Kazi's car has been sun faded this week. Normally we can't tell the difference, but we'd have to be colorblind not to now. Remember, Kazi, second place this afternoon in NIS. What's he going to have here? In the restart zone, though, Sean Conklin gets to the gas again, quicker than anybody else. Outside line, pretty good launch. Gonna be side by side between the one sim teammates, and around goes Edstrom.
Man. Keeps it straight.
Hard contact with the outside fence for the Rocket Man. And that's gonna pretty much end him for the night. Green flag stays as we watch Roger Pierce side by side with Brandon Pasalakwa for fourth. Pasalakwa going to be a hard pass. We saw how difficult it was for Pierce to get by him earlier. Found something with that outside line. It's been working for that sixth machine ever since. And the caution is out again. Is that Wiles? Yes, it is. Daniel Wiles comes to rest against the outside wall. What happens here for the 13 machine? Sends into 1 and 2. Back end comes around.
Looks like maybe.
And Blue Christian, unfortunately, gets tagged in another one.
I think he charged the corner a little bit too hot right there for Wiles, but.
Blue Christian's race has kind of gone like, if anybody's seen Django Unchained, that scene, the fight scene where that dude just keeps getting shot in the leg. He's been laying on the ground bleeding for like 30 minutes. And he just keeps getting shot. That's how Lou's night has gone, to no fault of his own. Just getting caught up in everybody else's mess. Just how it goes sometimes here at Bristol. As we ride on board with Lou here. Can't really see anything going on in front of him here. Then, boom. Round she goes. And excellent feedback from Ken Byron as he's saying that he thinks the grip adjustment and the temperatures going through drastic swings here in this race is creating this issue, and I can absolutely agree with that because they definitely changed a lot with how this place works. Took away grip from the outside line to reflect what we have in real life with the PJ1 being so strong on the bottom, and couple that in with the fact that we are on a new tire that I don't think has been to Bristol yet this year. And a bunch of other little micro changes here with the next gen car, giving these guys a lot more opportunity to really go out there and bust their tails. Also, from my layman's perspective too, I know you set the cars up typically for the beginning of the race. You think you got the ride heights right. then you get into the late stages when the track's cold and gripped up, and you start to bottom out. And once you do that, there's no saving it with this car.
Well, especially with these new fresh tires, right? They take maybe 2 or 3 laps just to get warmed up enough. So these first couple laps, they're going to be cold, and they're not going to feel right. I mean, these guys are used to long green flag runs in this race, but now we have little, caution restarts, right? So now you gotta have to adjust to that.
Yeah, I mean, just 5 extra pounds of aerodynamic load or mechanical load with these cars can be the difference between you making it through the corner and snapping from dragging the bottom of the car. But green flag back out. Sean Conklin back up here at the point, going to lead Joseph Causey down into 1 and 2. And Causey, big slide up the hill in 1 and 2, into the fence. Down the back straightaway. It's come undone for the 88 machine. But here comes Patrick Gitter sliding up in second place, and Roger Pierce working the top line, trying to get away fourth. But Justin Levine trying to make it work on the bottom, side by side down the back straightaway between him and Pierce. Down to 3. Pierce with the advantage on corner exit, possibly down the front straightaway here. No, dead heat down into 1.
Got to
Pierce
go
with
right
the
now.
advantage now, though. That outside line's really starting to come in for the 27 machine, trying with the recovery drive of a lifetime after he spun a couple laps ago.
Oh, big wreck backstretch.
Oh,
Turn 3.
huge crash, caution out. Thomas O'Hara backed up against the wall, and that left front tire not spinning. And he's stuck on the banking. Has heavy damage on that machine. See if we can get a look at what happened here as we pull up the replay. Thomas O'Hara working the outside line. Does he snap? Yep, a little bit of a wiggle coming off of the corner. And slides down the track, tags another car, and a huge wreck ensues with him. We're just entering that point in the race. This track has gone through so many changes. And these drivers are getting to that point where they know the pay window is opening up. That means the aggression factor is going to come out more and more each lap.
100%.
And, this is what you get with that, especially with a car that is just so difficult to work around here. You see right now Patrick Gitter in the 21 machine up there against the wall. So is Roger Pierce trying to clean off that top groove, get some of the marbles out of the way here. And the marbles as well could very well be a big part of the contributing factors as well. I mean, we had that update a while back that really amplified tire particles and just particles on the track in general getting into grooves. And you might be seeing a little touch of that too. Even Conklin going up there to try and help clean it off, maybe.
One to go. We'll try it again here. See if we can get a green flag run to the end.
Maybe we're just practicing the wall ride, I mean, used to
Could
work
be.
at Bristol Dirt, right? We'd get, 45 laps in, and it would go from being a
Oh, yeah.
dynamic dirt track where you could do all kinds of cool stuff to where everybody just rode the fence. Yeah, iRacing didn't really think that one through. Never did anything about it, though. Anyway, lights out on the pace car. Pace car makes a hard descent down pit road into the restart zone. Sean Conklin gets to the gas first here. Goes up a car length and a half advantage over second place Patrick Gitter. Here comes Brandon Pasalacqua trying to make a move on the inside down the back straightaway. Patrick Gitter with the advantage, though, going to hold on to second place down in 3 and 4. And up the track, Pasalacqua slides up, gets into Roger Pierce, and Pierce around in front of the field. Huge crash on the front stretch. DeCiani, Edstrom, Lou Christian, Russell Black, the 24 machine, as well as the 25 of Carr, all caught in it.
Unfortunate. Huge wreck.
Slides up the hill a little bit. Levine sticks his nose down under there to see it from maybe a far chase cam to see what actually happened. Heavy contact for Pierce, though, after such a great day. It's here. Oh, Passalacqua just gets in there, back into the car, doesn't settle in, slides up the track. See the wiggle, means the car is maybe loose. And just, unfortunately, it's a game of pinball down the front straightaway, and Roger Pierce ends up being the ball.
Yeah, kind of seemed like, too, Roger stayed on the gas there just to try and hope it stays straight, but just didn't end up working out for him.
Passalacqua was going to be able to work through it without any real damage. That doesn't help Roger Pierce any right now, though. This is on board with Carr. Tries to check up for it, and back into the car, just snaps right around on him.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, we're gonna go green here with about a 2-lap shootout, maybe a 1-lap shootout, and no overtimes here in this series, correct?
Yeah, none.
This could be it right here.
I mean, very well could be. 3 laps to go. Lights still on the pace truck. See what happens here. Is it lights out? Yes, it is. So, a natural green-white checkered. Pretty crazy.
Laps to go here. I think it's going to be a 1-lap shootout, right? Based on one to go back green.
Oh yeah,
maybe,
yeah, it is going to be a one. Yeah, it's going to be a 1-lap dash to figure it out. Which means there's not going to be another caution. So you better not make any mistakes on this restart. But that gives Gitter literally just the restart zone to figure it out here. Because if Conklin gets a great launch on this, it's his race. Into the restart zone here for the final time. Sean Conklin to the gas. Gitter with a really good restart. They're going to be able to hang with him on the quarter pound and 1. Side by side, 3, 1, 2 contact. Gitter goes around off the nose of Levine. Down the back straightaway, Sean Conklin with the advantage. What does Levine do through 3 and 4? Nothing. Not able to get to him. It's going to be Sean Conklin across the line with the checkered. And a huge wreck on the front straightaway. Take a look at the whole restart here. Gitter gets such a great restart here. Gonna hang with the quarter pound down into 1 and 2. No, there was no contact. This is net code. Such a terrible break for Gitter because I feel like if he could have been able to be flush with him down the back straightaway, he could have really had something into 3 and 4. But honestly, after the dominating performance, man, it'd be terrible to see Conklin get snubbed in the closing lap of this race as we watch him burn it down here on the front stretch. Dominating drive. I mean, it's the words I have to say every week, but when you walk away with that big of an advantage, almost lapping the entire field here at Bristol, something special as you see him run the celebratory victory lap here. the victory lap. You can only think that it's for what this date was 24 years ago here for this country. At least that's the story that I'm gonna go with. We get a look here at the final results as Sean Conklin loads the car up here onto victory lane, which you can drive on here at Bristol. It looks pretty cool. It's going to be Sean Conklin, P1, followed by Justin Levine in second. Third place for Joseph Causey with Brandon Pasalacqua in fourth. Coming home fifth, Daniel Wiles with Reese Schaefer recovering after a terrible start to this race to a sixth place finish. Seventh going to Alexander Carr with Randy Mullins, Patrick Gitter, and Bryce Rayner rounding out the top 10.
P11, Russell Black. Matt DiCiani, my pick for today. P12 wraps it up. 13th, Lou Christian. Roger Pierce ends up 14th today. Jose Medina, P15, Austin Edstrom, 16th. Greg Carr, 17th. Thomas O'Hara in 18th. Adam Benefiel in 19th. Paul Hill rounds out in 20th.
21st place going to Tim Wortman Jr. with Joshua Hyatt, bringing home 22nd. 23rd goes to Paul Gallimore with Paul Bergoli. Heartbreaking finish in 24th. 25th going to Chris Hudson with Chris Davis in 26th, followed by Shane Clore, Chris Crosby, Josh Schaffner, and Brian Johnson running at the 30-car field. But as we sit here, we're going to pull up our third place finisher on the evening. Joseph Causey, after a hard-fought battle to get himself back up into the top 5, running, what was it? How many laps you run today, Causey?
Well, today will be 825.
Jesus. Go touch grass, my friend, please. Well, good run today in NIS, followed by another podium finish here tonight in the OB Builders Cup Series. How's it feel, man? Bristol, it's a difficult track. A lot of people struggle here, surviving long enough to make it to the end. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. Man, that was awesome. I had an awesome car, awesome run. I had to adjust myself after the first run because I burnt my tires up in the beginning, and I had to figure out how to run the track like I did earlier without the damage that I had in NIS, which I think the damage made me faster.
Honestly. But with third place finish here tonight, man, how you feeling going into next week? I know you love New Hampshire. It's your favorite place, right?
No, that's your favorite place.
What are you talking about? You don't like lobster?
I like lobster. Don't get me wrong. I like lobster, more than the next person. But I do not like New Hampshire, and it does not like me.
Well, Causey, it's a good run to build on too. How you looking for the rest of the season here?
Just try to get good runs like this, and just try to finish out the season. See where we end up at the end, basically.
And round things out here for the night, man. Who do you want to thank and shout out for the podium finish?
Hey, thanks Keegan Sabilo Esports for picking me up and putting me in this car. And I gotta thank them, thank the broadcast, thank the league for letting me participate in here. We have great green flag runs here, and I absolutely love it. And good job by Sean. He was a tough customer to beat, and once again, he's hard to beat.
Well, Causey, thanks for coming up here and talking to us. Be looking forward to seeing what you're capable of next week at New Hampshire.
Yes, sir. We'll try.
I'm going to hand it on over to my colleague here, Steve, with our second place finisher here on the evening. Oh, Lightning Levine.
Yes,
What's
sir,
going
Mr.
on?
Man, looking pretty bad quick today. P2 on the day. Looking, man, it's kind of up in the field, in the back, kind of an up and down kind of day, but you found yourself in P2 at the end, and that's what matters the most. How'd the race go from your view, man?
I don't know where to start, but definitely a roller coaster. Got damaged accidentally from Kazi, and then we never got the caution to repair it, and the car was just wrecking loose the whole run. And then got that warning call before we got those 2 late cautions that I was going to blow right front, and decided to pull it in. Was maybe half a turn away from going 1 lap down and re-spun out, or something happened to Reese. And we got trapped for a little bit, and somehow just cautions kept falling our way, and kept restarting on the bottom, and everyone just kept getting out of our way, and somehow ended up P2.
Definitely, man, a great effort right there. Hey, next week, New Hampshire, one of my favorite tracks on the Sims, also my hometown. I love it. What are your thoughts on the track? How do you think you'll do next week?
It's a great track, just not with this car. I have a problem with flat tracks in this car. I just have not figured it out. It always goes from great to worse somehow for me. But I'm always gonna keep my head up and get some laps and do the best I can.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, real quick, floor is yours. Who you want to thank today? Friends, family, sponsors? Who you got?
Shout out to you guys. Can't wait to go back and watch broadcasts. You guys do such an amazing job. Brandon, Randy, all the admins that put this on, and of course all the viewers for tuning in.
All right, man. Sounds great. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you too.
Battlefield?
Always.
All right, sweet. I'm going to take it on over here with your race winner, the Dominator, and the man who saved fuel and was still leading the pack by a good margin, old Sean Conklin. First off, man, how do you put, almost the entire field a lap down and walk off to an 8-second lead at Bristol? That's just insane. You know that, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that first run that we had there was pretty wild. We're just able to save and just go hard on the long run. Then obviously we had that caution, which came out at a perfectly terrible time, because you could either decide to split it in half and only pit for about like 15 laps of fuel, or you could try to save said 15 laps of fuel. And we tried to save it, and it was gonna work. We had a good enough margin to the cars that pitted, and we were running quick enough laps that we could stay out front. And if that race would have went green, we probably would have won it. But it's a good strategy, because either way we still kept the lead and were able to go down and get tires just like everybody else, and then just kind of bring it home from there and just try to keep the lead, go as fast as you can, and just not be one of those cautions.
How much fun was that 4-car battle between yourself, Pasalakla, Pierce, and later Benefield? Because that looked like a blast up here in the booth.
I wouldn't say I was really worried about the battle. I was more worried about the fuel saving. I would have let any of those guys go. I just was focused on the fuel saving. I was doing whatever I could just to save that fuel, and it turns out like the pace that I had to be at to save that fuel was just enough to keep the lead for a majority of that run. So I didn't really have to let anybody go. But no, I wasn't trying to battle. Like I said, if anyone wanted to go, they definitely could have gone. I would have let them by. But yeah, just spent majority of that run just saving fuel.
We want it all down here. First off, how you feeling about New Hampshire next week?
Not sure. I haven't been there in a while, since last year, obviously. But we'll get to work on it here soon, and we'll see how it goes. I'm normally not good there, but I wasn't good at Gateway last year either, and we were really good there last week. So hopefully that can also be the same case for New Hampshire.
Well, man, thanks for coming up here and chatting with us. Before I send you on your way, who do you want to thank and shout out for the dominating performance here from Bristol?
I just want to thank all the sponsors on the car, Randy Bell Construction, Victory One, Best One Tire, Napa, Gossip, Bus Lines, just and everybody that puts in all the stints and stuff during the week. It was a lot. It was a lot, especially after the track change and the updates. So had to go through all of that again, and we wound up making this car, which is obviously very dominant, and I'm looking forward to showing it again in tomorrow night's NIS.
Well, looking forward to seeing what you're able to do next week and around the season out, man.
Thank you.
We're going to get ready to wind her on down here tonight. First off, Steve, tell me, how did you feel about the race tonight from Bristol?
I got to say, it's a lot of fun, right? A lot of talent. To be able to go green flag racing as long as they did, in those couple of stints were awesome. I mean, that's what you want to see. And I mean, for me, obviously a couple of wrecks, hard racing at the end. You have to expect that, right? Guys trying to go for the best they can get position wise. And you know, overall, I thought we saw some good strategy. You know, fuel would have been a big play for Conklin and them, but didn't end up needing that. Tires, we saw that being a big role too with, you know, comers and goers in the field. But overall, fantastic race.
Yeah, the OB Builders Cup put on a great performance here tonight. I mean, to go as long as we have here at Bristol with such great green flag runs. I mean, it's just been the tale of the season for these guys. Just impressive racing and tight racing throughout the field. Definitely looking forward to seeing what these guys are capable of next week at New Hampshire. But from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Special thanks to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash SimCams, providing the cams used on today's broadcast, as well as congratulations to Sean Conklin for another great win here tonight at Bristol. This has been Sheldon Atkins. I'm enjoying the booth here by, hang on, give me 1 second. I lost my brain there for a second. Steve Tucker and Austin Derbyshire pushing all the buttons in the truck. And we will see you next time on the grid.